right, this is about what if pro theory gets discovered and accepted by physicists and mathematicians and the general public around the world. So I actually think it's going to be a bit of a flash in the pan, to be honest. A bit of a short-lived thing, and then everyone will just settle back down into normal. Because it's unaccepted at the moment, I'm seen as some kind of crazy man. I'm nuts because I think in threes, all all these things. But when people actually get talking to me and they realise I'm actually pretty friendly, and I try not to judge people, and actually, dare I say it, know what I'm talking about, people tend to sort of adjust. And as I say, I think the only reason people find it difficult to understand pro theory and what it stands for and the three potentials all the time is because of the way I'm communicating it, or my lack of effective communication, basically. So it's my fault in a sense. When you actually look at it, it's extremely simple. It's just three things. It's not 10 million, billion, 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 it's three. It's one thing, the opposite, and neutral. That's it. That is the whole theory. Every single essay I've ever made, every video I've ever made about pro theory, anything, any related topic, it's talking about three things. Extremely simple, okay? And I do think it's going to be a bit of a flash in the pan, as I say, if and when pro theory is discovered or accepted by whoever it is in the world that accepts these kind of theory. I don't know. I couldn't pin one person down. Maybe Stephen Hawking, for example, the Lucasian professor of mathematics at Cambridge, apparently. So I mean, it seems complicated now, and it seems difficult, and people read the physics and they think, oh, this is way over me. You know, the Millennium Problems, considered to be the most difficult problems to answer in the whole world. Literally, in the whole world, they are the problems to be solved at this current moment in time. The Claymath Millennium Problems on claymath.org. Okay, there's 7 of them, and I've talked about them a lot of the time as well. But I really do think that once people realise how simple this theory is and how it actually works, in that you just add an opposite plus neutral and that's it, I think people, once somebody other than myself has explained this properly and with real clarity in the everyday sense, and explained that it's about context, it's about, there's the theory of everything way to see things in threes, or there's the real life way to see things in, you know, my name's Pro, I'm 29 years old, you know, single statements, real life, obviously, this is what I'm talking about here. Okay, and that's what it's about, the context. So once people realise that it's just about, you can choose to see it 3 ways or you can't, it's up to you, you know, it's your choice. It's just for those that are interested in the theory of everything, that answers everything at once, just for the sake of knowing, really. Once people realise how simple it is, as I say, I think they'll just move on with their real lives, really. I think the only reason it's seen as somewhat controversial at this moment in time is because it's unaccepted by physicists. As I said before, I've sent this off to loads and loads of people in different formats and things. I've contacted Claymath a lot, and they said, we refuse to talk to you at all. We won't review your website or your videos or your essays. I sent it to Nature magazine, New Scientist. I sent it to the Cambridge Philosophical Society. I've sent it to Stephen Hawking. I've sent it to a lot of people, various philosophers as well. And all of them have come back saying, look, we can't discuss this with you. They haven't said, you're right, you're wrong, this is a theory of everything, well done, or anything else. They just said, look, we refuse flat out to communicate with you or discuss this with you at all. And that's just because of the way I'm putting it across, I think, really. As I keep saying, it's extremely simple, this is. It's the most simple idea that anyone's ever had, I think, really. And as I do say, I do see things like a child. I mean, I think children could understand this more easily than adults could, in fact. I do really think that. Because if I said to a child, well, if you think about it, you've got left and right, and you've got the middle. Do you see what I mean? You can go up or down, or you can stay still. You know, you can have a toy, you can not have a toy, or you can be somewhere else where there's no toys at all, which means neutral. That's the word that we call neutral, you see. And that's it, that's how simple it is. That really is how simple it is. Now, I'm not trying to put complication down. I'm not trying to say that physics doesn't matter, or physics is overcomplicated. Some parts of it are, yeah. It used to be called natural philosophy, which means basically looking at the natural world in a philosophical sense. Philosophia meaning love of knowledge, the Greek definition of it. Not to put too fine a point on it because I'm getting off topic again. But anyway, as I say, if I was explaining this to a child, I'd just say that. You've got left and right, you've got the middle, you know. Think about numbers, you've got 1, you've got 2, which is more than 1, for example, or you've got 0, naught, as you call it at primary school, I used to call it, which is nothing, which is what we call neutral. And neutral means, it's like the Grand Old Duke of York, he marched his men to the top of the hill and marched them down again, okay? When they're only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. That means they were neutral, okay? Which was in the middle. Now, I think that the difference is nobody's ever applied this as literally as I'm applying it to everything before and actually come up with a theory about it and actually taken on the physics side of it and the mathematics side of it and, more importantly, the real life side of it. And as I say, I think it's going to be a bit of a flash in the pan if and when it gets discovered, because people will be like, oh yeah, theory of everything, oh it doesn't make sense, doesn't make sense. Then they'll be like, oh well, these physicists reckon it's this, reckon it's that. Oh, it's very simple, I can understand that. Oh, it's only, it's like one thing, the opposite thing, they're neutral in the middle. That's it. And that really is it, you see. I wish it was deeper in a sense. I wish it was this, I wish it was that, I suppose. I wish it was, you know, I was a real genius or something, but to be honest, I'm not. I'm just a normal person who thinks a lot, and I've discovered this. And it's like a secret weapon, I suppose, enabling me to have the confidence to study any mathematics or physics that I like. And I do mean that literally. I will study anything. There's nothing that I feel intimidated by in the sense of knowledge at all, because I know pro theory. And I answer everything through the context of pro theory. As I say, this is about context. I'm talking and seeing things in the view of a theory of everything, okay, which is debatably a bit different to real life, you see. As I've said before, I don't go straight on in my car, left and right simultaneously, although I am fully aware, which is important, that in the abstract sense, in the theory sense, this is possible. It's possible for me to say I can travel straight on, left and right simultaneously. Now, just because that doesn't make sense doesn't mean necessarily that we should discard it as, I don't know, nonsensical or ridiculous or something. Because this is important to understand the abstract things, the things that can happen, the things that are possible. Just because it seems impossible or seems ridiculous. Have you ever heard it said that assumption is the mother of all mistakes? And this is the thing we assume. Okay, now this isn't such a problem in real life, okay? Because obviously, you either like a person or you don't. You're going straight on, or you're going backwards, or you're going left, or you're going right, whatever, okay? But when it comes to physics, we've got people saying the universe started here in the Big Bang, the universe will finish here in the Big Crunch, and they're disregarding neutrality, okay? We've got gravity, people say gravity is attractive, we can't get a quantum theory of gravity. You know, look at quantum theory, okay? You've got subatomic particles, quarks, okay? Fractional versions of the same atomic charge, okay? Negative, positive, neutral, protons, neutrons, electrons, okay? I said that the wrong way around, but that doesn't matter, it's not important really, okay? So, as I say, the 4 fundamental forces, it's really, really, really simple. You've got 3 forces. A force in the universe, no matter what it is, no matter what terms in physics it's described in, it's attractive, repulsive, or neutral. Or neutral, I suppose, because each one of them is simultaneously possible to the same extent that the other is. And as I say, I'm going to say it again, this is about the context. At the moment, I'm seeing it in theory of everything sense, okay? So this is meant to be like a benchmark that we refer back to when we want to be abstract. But at the moment we haven't got this knowledge. This isn't common knowledge at the moment. People aren't necessarily aware that there is a neutral possibility. People are aware of opposites, okay? What goes up must come down, and all these other things, left and right, as I keep saying, up and down. But they're not aware of neutrality. I think it is important to be aware of neutrality, if only for the simple matter of actual respect of knowledge, really, and truth of knowledge, and lack of assumption. We need to know this, I think, rather than pretending that there's only opposites and trying to argue opposite points when I'm saying 3 things at once, really. So I hope that helps understand pro theory a bit. It's dead simple, okay?